What's up guys, welcome to Wasted Space and we're back in Space Engineers, and today I've got a reasonably simple idea simply because I've been really busy judging the entries I've had so far for the planets competition. Don't forget, that's due to finish in 2 weeks now, so if you are intending on entering, please don't miss the deadline, that would be really unfortunate. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, there's a link just down below in the video description to the planets competition video, some cool prizes to be won, so do go and check that out. But diving straight in for the idea for today, what I have in front of me is what I'm calling the Claymore Support Cruiser. So this is a ship designed to be in there, in the fight, in kind of the second line of the attack. So Death Lotus and the big heavy hitters come in first to weaken up the defences, and following up with that is this and some fighters, some bombers, the second wave of your assault. So let's go and have a quick look around inside, give you a quick tour, and then show you a little bit of what it's like in action. So I'm reasonably happy with the aesthetic. I built this all today. It still took quite a while, but I did it all in one day, and I think it came out quite nice, although looking reasonably similar to the destroyer engine nacelles that I did ages ago, so maybe that's appropriate to be part of that fleet as such. And like most of my designs, there is a door on the back side here, but the first thing that's worth pointing out before we go inside are these hangar doors here, and the hangar doors with their sensors. So let's just go in and have a tour around, and those will become relevant shortly. So this is the first ship I've done which is properly oxygenated, by which I mean that it's got proper airlocks. They aren't in any way clever, there's no lights or anything like that to tell you what you're doing. All you've got to do is remember to shut the doors, to be honest, and you are fine. But it's got proper compartmentalization, proper airlocks everywhere, and at the same time plenty of vents, as you can see here, to make sure that each area is individually oxygenated. And here we have our first choice as to where we're going to go, and we're going to drop through this doorway here, which of course is going to mean that we're going to use the jetpack. The gravity is a bit messed up for this, but the idea down here, as you can see, is the lower hangar. So those doors we saw outside are the ones that lead to this, and these two of my Wasp fighters. So these are two of the fighters that this craft can quite easily launch, but also maintain and carry with it in between any sort of combat. And as you can see, everything's conveyed up. But aside from that, there's not a huge amount down here other than a whole bunch of vents to quickly pressurize and depressurize this area. So let's head back up and through the next door. So I'm not going to bother shutting these things properly because I am lazy. But if we go through here, we can go into sort of what is the central flight deck and the main area of the ship. So come upstairs and we'll go through that door at the end. Up here we have drone control, our med bay, and the big feed for the rocket launchers on the front. Now this is a little exposed, I will admit, but I wanted it to look cool as well, and glass does just look cool. So this is the drone control, nice view if they really wanted of their drones in action, and that's about it for up here. We go down the stairs here and through the door at the back. Oh, just above us we've got the timer blocks and a whole bunch of conveyors to make sure that this is all conveyed up, of course. And then if we go through here, next set of airlocks, we can go into the next hangar. So this is the main central hangar that opens up underneath the wings. And this is designed to have craft that can be deployed literally in flight. Doesn't matter how you're maneuvering, how fast you're going, these craft will easily drop down out of the bays underneath. Pretty much as soon as they're powered up, the doors below open up and off you go. And at the same time, in the wings at the sides, which are these, we've got a huge amount of thrusters and gyros to make sure this is quite a maneuverable ship, as well as all of the oxygen creating equipment, of course. And the thinking here was, while it's quite heavily armoured, and all of this is heavy armour, it's also quite maneuverable. So I didn't want to make everything too heavy, and I wanted to make sure that it's got plenty of power, plenty of thrust, which is all along the sides there, and of course plenty of power to run its gravity shield, which you can see on the back, as all my ships do. The final thing it has, as you can see on the roof here, is room to dock a whole bunch of drones, which is what the drone control at the front was about. And admittedly, I haven't put any drones in here at the moment. I don't have any suitable with the connectors in the right locations. I did have a look through you guys' entries. For whatever reason, I just couldn't find something right today. But the idea would be you'd have 4 drones hanging up there that could also, because of their size, quite easily exit this ship through the existing hangar doors. Let's drop back down and go through that last door, which of course leads through to the pilot seat. Oh, one thing I missed back there, back behind the last reactor, there is a backup cockpit, just in case the ones at the front get knocked out, so you can retreat back there. But this is the pilot's own special little corridor. Again, the glass probably a bit weak, but again, it looks cool. I mean, the front end of this looks a lot cooler with glass on it than it would do if it was just bare, I think. But conveniently, oh look, we have a target lined up for us, so we can go down for that. And as you can see, the acceleration on this is pretty good, not bad. It turns really quite nicely for a ship of its size, but the main point with this is it's got a lot of strafing potential. It's got a lot of sideways thrusters. So the idea would be when you were coming up to a target like this, you would not just have to, or you're not limited to just driving straight at it. Are we shooting missiles? I can't tell. Are they coming out? Yes, they are coming out. Okay, we're just not quite in range yet. Oh, there we go. The idea would be you don't have to drive straight at it. You can, in fact, just strafe. So we could be coming in here and spending most of our time going sideways dealing damage while our fighters come out, our drones come out, and supporting the rest of the fleet and doing reasonable damage at the same time. Of course, probably not as much damage as I could be doing with a modded setup. That is getting more and more tempting to go to the dark side, simply because there's so many more weapons available. I'm getting so bored of rockets. But there you go. I think it's a pretty effective little design, pretty decent for its role, which would be, as I said, as a support cruiser. You're here in amongst the attack, but not necessarily the only part of the attack, and certainly not sitting there completely on your own, but not undefended should it need be that you need to fight back. So I think just to finish up, let's go for a ramming speed into this while I talk a little bit about a couple of things with the channel. Firstly, another reminder, don't forget about the competition. You've got 2 weeks, ends at the end of the month. Really cool entries so far, but I can't wait to see what else I get. So get in there, get your chance to win some cool prizes. Don't forget the video links down below. The other thing is, please check out on the Steam group if you're a member. I'm going to be doing a shout out. I want to do a video where basically we record a whole bunch of us in a fleet combat environment for a montagey sort of thing. So keep an eye on the Steam group in particular. Keep an eye on the Steam group in particular for information regarding that. And as we float in our cockpit here, let's switch to the spectator camera and just go for a quick look at the damage. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Not the most complex idea, but I quite like it, quite effective, and at this point I think we've done pretty effective damage to the structure here. If you did like it, please hit like, please hit subscribe, really helps me and the channel out. And otherwise, thanks a lot for watching. I will catch you next time.